Hello, my name is Adrien Sarko and welcome to this course Administering Service and Support Applications in Salesforce. In this course, you will discover all of the amazing functionalities Salesforce Service Cloud offers you, learn how to design a Service Cloud solution, and understand how you can implement your design easily. You will discover that Service Cloud is a powerful but easy platform to use. So why should you listen to me? What makes me qualified to teach you how to use Salesforce Service Cloud? This is a very important question you need to ask yourself when you start a new class. Lots of instructors have a good grasp of the theoretical concepts that make up the topics they teach about. Not all of them have real-world practice though. I've been a practitioner for more than 7 years now, as a CRM consultant. I have worked with companies big and small on a wide diversity of projects, from the development of e-learning systems tied to CRMs, to real estate management systems for property managers. I've seen a lot. 3 years ago, I made the choice to specialize on Salesforce. It was a very easy choice for me to make. I was getting fed up with the other systems, which required custom coding, API calls to some obscure PHP script in order to leverage features that were not exposed in the administration user interface. They also had clunky interfaces, a database that was impossible to customize, etc. The Salesforce system was so much superior to all the other CRM technologies I worked with before. It was easy to learn, flexible, made sense, and more importantly, it paid handsomely. I've never looked back on my choice. This was one of the best career choices I've ever made. And I'm sure it will be one of the best career choices you will make too. Over the past years, I've been teaching Salesforce directly to hundreds of students and designing educational programs for big international Salesforce implementation corporate programs. So rest assured, you're in good hands here. Let's discuss what we'll be learning in this module. In this module, we'll focus on understanding the basics about Service Cloud. We'll first discover the problems that Salesforce solves through the lens of Globomantics, a company that just made the decision to switch over to Salesforce. That's what we will discover in the How Service Works at Globomantics section of this module. Once we have an understanding of the service department's problems that Salesforce will solve for Globomantics, we then have to understand how to solve them using Service Cloud. As you may know already, Salesforce has got multiple clouds, each having many different features. In the Service Cloud Data Model and Features part of this module, we will see where Service Cloud fits in the Salesforce suite of clouds, and how it was structured from an object perspective to give you this strong foundation I was talking about. Finally, in the Service Cloud Solution Design section of this module, we will apply everything we've learned to the problems that Globomantics faces and see how to design a Salesforce solution that solves a specific business scenario. Those skills will prove extremely useful in your Salesforce career, as they will allow you to first understand what problems can be solved with Salesforce, and then how to architect a solution from the ground up, keeping the best practices in mind. Being able to do that, answering business problems with concrete technological solutions, will easily make you one of the most loved Salesforce experts in the company you work for. Let's first get started by understanding who Globomantics are, what problems they face, and why they decided that Salesforce was the right fit for them. Globomantics is an international leader in artificial intelligence and robotics. They sell robots powered by their proprietary AI technology to both consumers and businesses. Their flagship consumer product is the Butler, a robot capable of reading your mind and providing you with everything you need. Their business line's equivalent is the Artificial Productivity Bot, an intelligent drone with legs that can both fly and walk, which patrols and detects any unproductive employee in or out of the office and reports them to their manager. Both of these products are extremely successful, and Globomantics had to quickly scale their service operations globally. Because of that, each location and department had to purchase software independently from corporate approval, which created a lot of shadow IT. Now, shadow IT is software that is used outside of managerial and governing bodies' awareness in a company. They purchased Salesforce Service Cloud to consolidate all of their customer data and service processes in one single software, and finally put an end to shadow IT. The reason why shadow IT is a problem for all organizations is that it leads to the creation of silos. Each unit using its own software and processes is a silo in and of itself, making it very difficult for other units to peek into what's going on at that unit, because they all use different softwares and methodologies. There are 3 different problems that are created by silos. First, data isn't shared across the global organization. Now, that's a problem for a few reasons. If data isn't shared, it can easily lead to a loss in analytics tools, not giving managers an accurate insight into what's going on in the business as a whole. This can lead to very bad business decisions because the data is not available. The other issue is that if customer data isn't shared, there is no single source of truth for such data. Customer data could very well be duplicated across different units and systems, sometimes with conflicting information into systems. And when that happens, which dataset do we trust? There is no way to know. If my warranty shows active and cancelled in 2 different systems, is it active or is it cancelled? It's impossible to know without doing at least some digging, which of course makes your team lose productivity. Finally, there is also an issue of governance. As a business grows, it's concerned with keeping all of its procedures aligned. But if every unit uses different business softwares, it's very difficult to enforce strong governance, which leads to an incoherent set of processes. It is very easy to create unhappy customers if you don't have access to their correct data, and if every business unit decides to operate its own way without any corporate oversight. Local managers become all-powerful, and then it's very difficult to take their power away. The beauty of Salesforce is that it breaks those silos very effectively. It uses a common database, set of processes, and data quality and validation rules across all your business units and departments. You can choose to make those different per unit or the same. But everything is in one place, making your CRM software very easy to control and administer over time. Where you had silos before, you now have 360 degrees vision of your customers and on anything that's in your database overall. This makes it possible for your company to gain insights they could have never gained before, creating reports on multiple business units, departments, locations, and comparing them to each other, and having one place in which to see everything. Now, everyone in your company uses one single source of truth. Long gone are the days where your employees would argue to know who had the right data on their screen. And if you have to change anything to the way things are done across all your units at once, it can be done in just a few clicks instead of requiring top-down implementation to each different IT system used by each branch. As you can tell, using Salesforce generates a lot of business benefits to the companies that decide to leverage it. This can become one of their key competitive advantage if executed properly. So now, I hope you're excited to learn how to do all this. A successful Service Cloud implementation has got 3 key aspects you need to learn and master. First, it comes at no surprise you need to understand how to configure Service Cloud properly. This is the meat of this course, learning how to design and configure specific features. But you also must understand the needs of your department, its strategic objectives and plans, and how they fit with the individual goals of the users you will impact with your design choices, the customer service agents, and their managers. So not only must you have an understanding of the product, you must also be able to put yourself in the shoes of the end users to make sure that what you put in place makes sense to them and the way they are used to work. So that if it improves their productivity and decreases their learning curve, they will need to learn how to use your solution and respond to a real business need. Depending on your position in your company, you may actually be the only filter between the end user's wishes and what gets implemented or not in your Service Cloud implementation. For that reason, it is important for you to be able to sort through all the requests and only implement what makes sense to the business and make the users more productive. If Martha wants a button that generates a few records automatically, but she is the only one to want it, it may not be worth your time to implement it just for her. We now understand why Globomantics chose Salesforce as their CRM platform of choice. In the next section, we will dive into the Service Cloud specifics and learn what makes it tick.